Well, hello and welcome everybody. If you're coming onto the new health conversation, we're going to get started here in a few minutes. There's just a couple technical things I need to work out. At the new health conversation, the one thing we're committed to is sharing with you the absolute medical proof and the absolute truth. We don't give you opinions. If you want opinions, there's plenty of people on social media that will tell you things that just simply are not backed by any type of science. They're nothing more than opinions, and that's kind of where we sit today. So I think that the problem is that we're now in a position where people are so desperate to lose weight that they keep hanging on to things that have no chance, no chance at all to ever actually work. So they keep following this calories in, calories out, which is completely 1,000,000%. Hello and welcome everyone to the New Health Conversation. My name is Peter Greenlaw. I founded the New Health Conversation. At the New Health Conversation, for all the censors out there, we only share medical proof. We do not give opinions. We don't make medical claims. We only share and stay within the boundaries of medical proof that's in the public domain. There's nothing that's made up. There's nothing that's fake. Everything we're talking about, hello, Alan, everything we're going to talk about is backed by medical science. Now, the challenge that we have is there's so much misinformation out there. Hello, Lucy, especially about diets, about this whole thing about forget calorie counting. Well, let's take a look at the first slide. This is absolutely incredible, but she lost 21.2 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days. It's not a diet. You can see the change in her physiology there. So Lucy, Angelo, Cecilia, Kim, Sissimos, Raider, liked. Okay, we're getting some likes already. Let me ask you something, everyone. How long, if you had to lose 20 pounds on any diet you can choose, how long would you think it would take you? I know I'm showing you what she did in 30 days, but I'm really curious about what any of you. Stay focused. Tom Gotten, Gary Roche, Loris, Kathy, hello to all of you. If you can just hit your screen, let's get some likes going here early in the morning. I understand. Well, I'm in Denver, Colorado at 6 in the morning. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. I mean, it's around the world this goes. But again, there's a lot more for you to see. Look at this. This is based on 37 days. Look at the change in her body. It is not a diet. It has nothing to do with calorie counting. So don't ask me what kind of diet is this. It's not a diet. It's like nothing that anyone's ever seen before. It was developed by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the entire world. They've done 40 years of study, over 1,000 people, I mean thousands of people, sorry, over 100 studies. But are any of you interested in how she did that? Spiritual guidance, Meason, Jane, Kay, Shep. Now, here's the good news. The good news is we provided you with a free medical website where you can go and see all the proof. I'm going to show it to you right here. So right above my name, you can see it there in red, the New Health Conversation. I promise if you go there, we won't contact you. We're researchers. We don't do that. We give you every opportunity to see all the medical proof. And if you like what you see, notice it says in green right above the red, free coaching. I mean free coaching. There's no gimmicks, no tricks. You will get coached the whole time. We got coached. Okay, so understand this is so new and so revolutionary. It's a combination. I'll go into it in much greater detail here in just a moment. But I want to show you some more pictures. I want to show you, for example, look at this is an older guy. Look at his stomach, but look, oh, 40 pounds and 52.5 inches from his neck to his ankle in just 30 days. That's the least important part of his story. I know that it's sensational, but look at his blood work. Look at his A1C. It went from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides from 242 to 124. On any diet out there, the only thing you're really seeing is the number on the scale. And the sad part about that is we're settling for these diets that are just so ineffective. I mean, again, if someone would like to tell me if they had to lose, hello, Meansy, hello, Jane, K. Let's Jeff, Virginia, user 698, Mums, let's see, who else? Phil, Barbara Monk. So again, this is just part of it. Then look at Andy here. Look at this one. How about 40? That's 11 pounds a week, 60 inches. I know you think it's photoshopped. It's not photoshopped. There's nothing that's not real. And the thing we can do is it's backed up by these peer-reviewed human trial studies. So on the website, which is free for you to go to, and there's absolutely no one that will contact you. The only way we'll contact you is if you contact us. So you can see it there, the new health conversation. And there's an interview with the #1 nutrition weight loss physiologist in the world who has no products to sell. They don't have a company. They're scientists, okay? They're the ones that created this, not me. It has nothing to do with me. I did not create this, okay? We're bringing it to you because we know 80% of America's overweight, 50% are obese, 50% pre-diabetic. Does anyone really think diets are working? I mean, come on. I'd love for you to put it in the chat. Let's have a nice civil conversation, okay? I really believe that we're in such a crisis that we're really we've hit an iceberg. We really have, like the Titanic. I'm serious. Okay, we're taking on water like crazy. But there's lifeboats and life jackets and blankets. There's plenty of time to get off the boat. You don't have to go down with the ship. But if you keep doing what you're doing, and I'm going to show you all kinds of medical proof. So how this is going to work today. First, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the breakthrough. This has taken over 40 years to figure this out. And the studies, some of which were started as much as 13 years ago, they're done on human beings. It's called a peer-reviewed human trial study. There's nothing higher in medical proof than that. These people that you're seeing on TikTok, with all due respect, medical doctors, chiropractors, influencers, they're giving you, I mean, they're telling you things that have no basis in fact. They say, oh, you lose 20 pounds in a month, and it's mostly fat. And then when you look at the medical proof, the reverse is true. This time-restricted eating where you don't eat for 16 hours and eat for 8. Right in the huge study in Journal of American Medical Association, they said after 3 months, people lost between 2 and 3.5 pounds, gained no benefit, and the majority of what they lost was not fat, but lean muscle mass. That's a medical journal. That's not somebody giving you an opinion. I don't care that they're showing you before and afters. They don't have any medical proof to back it up. The difference with us, the pictures I'm showing you are coming from the studies. Do you all get that? So can we get some more taps? We only have 3 likes. I guess I must really suck this morning, everybody. Charles and Jerry, Shirley, Joan, Captain Caveman, Asula, TikToker, Keisha. TikToker, you've been on before because I remember that handle. I think it's you, the same person. NYC Chris. Hello, all of you. But look, let's go real quickly now. What I'm going to show you first, some of the before and afters that will stun you. Then we'll talk about what they did. And then I'm going to show you medical proof why whatever diet you're on right now, it is not just are you going to gain all your weight back, but 2/3 of you are going to end up weighing more than when you started. Nothing is my opinion. Let me introduce myself. My name is Peter Greenlaw. I've been a nutritional researcher for 23 years. And I'm not telling you to impress you, but I want you to understand the amount of what went into this. I've written 4 best-selling books with some of the biggest medical doctors in the world. I did 20 shows on PBS, interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America, and did over 1,500 live lectures around the world in universities, in hospitals, in towns. They even flew me to China. But for 22 of my 23-year career, it meant 0 in the medical world, 0. Why? Because there were no peer-reviewed human trial studies. So everything I'm sharing with you, again, for the censors, we're only talking about the medical proof. There's nothing made up here. There's nothing sensationalized. I mean, you'll think it's sensationalized when you see the before and afters. So let's take a look quickly at the before and afters, and then I'm going to explain to you how did they achieve these unbelievable results. The first lady, she only had to lose 35 pounds. So I want you all to see this. Look at that. 21.2 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days. I'd love to anybody comment. How long do you, hello Roscoe, hello out of Lego, I think it is. Rose, Elisa, Spiff. Look, I'd love anybody, please comment. What do you think about that? Don't even put in there, it's photoshopped, no, forget that. Don't waste your time on that. It's not photoshopped, okay? I mean, I don't know how to Photoshop. Why would we Photoshop when we have 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies that prove exactly what you're seeing? The results as people doing this protocol that was proven medically. Proven medically. This is not an infomercial. This is live. This is a live podcast. You're all welcome to interact with me, ask me questions, as long as it's a civil discussion. I mean, you don't really have to call me names. That doesn't really work that well, but you can do it. If you do that, then I'm just going to have to block you. But if we can have you can disagree with what I'm saying, that's fine. But let's just try to be civil, okay? Now, The next one is Julie, 37 days. Look at the transformation in her body. I know most of you are stunned. Most of you are already skeptical. Most of you are going to go back to what you were doing before. You're doing paleo or keto or carnivore or time-restricted eating or Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or Nutrisystem or some other crazy diet, none of which work long-term. Do you really believe, everyone? I'd love you to put in the chat. We now have a projection from Johns Hopkins Medical School. Let me read it to you. Study predicts obesity apocalypse by 2030. 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. Does that sound to you like diets are working? I mean, in less than 5 years, we're going to be 86% overweight and obese. There's more diets than ever. If any of this stuff worked, why is this happening? Well, we know, and we're going to explain it to you in just a moment. But look at her transformation. Rose, I've been on every diet out there. Seems to be quick. No, Captain Caveman. Let me explain it to you, okay? On what they did, Captain, just understand, they were able to measure water retention, and they also were able to measure lean muscle mass. On a diet, number one, this would be impossible. Caveman, have you ever seen anything like that? So there's a couple things that now have been proven incorrect. One, when they measured the lean muscle mass in the people in here, you see the tremendous amounts of weight loss. And no one was allowed to exercise. They actually gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. That's why you see the transformation in the bodies that you're looking at. It's not photoshopped in any way, okay? Also, the big studies now, cavemen, say the faster you can lose weight, as long as you don't lose lean muscle, A, the longer you're going to live, and two, there's a 95% chance you'll keep the weight off for the rest of your life. So all that, now look, on a diet, you lose more than a pound a week. We know up to 40% caveman of what you lose on a diet is lean muscle mass. That's the unhealthy part. That's why it's unsafe. I realize you're all having trouble wrapping your minds around this. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at Curtis, an older gentleman. How about 40 pounds and 52 inches in 30 days? And look at his A1C. See, there's what's important. Look at the medical changes. A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 down to 124 in 30 days. This is why it's safe and is proven in the medical studies. Nothing I'm sharing with you is made up. Nothing is an opinion. You want opinions? There's plenty of people on TikTok that can show you opinions, but they don't have any medical proof. We're showing you the medical proof. It's right here, and you can see it on the website. I'm going to show you the website again for everybody. Right there in red, the New Health Conversation. It's free to go there. We won't contact you. Only way we'll contact you is if you contact us. There's a place to get, and you get a free coach. You get coached for free. We don't sell you anything. You don't buy anything from the researchers who created this. I'm going to explain to you in a moment what you do. So let me show you just a couple more quick ones. Okay, so how about Andy? 45 pounds, that's 11 pounds a week, 60 inches in 30 days. Again, look at his blood work. His A1C from 7.9 to 6.2, his LDL from 120 to 59 in 30 days. It's completely safe. That's the whole point. I understand. This is like, I'm sure you'd have a hard time. You could probably find a rotary telephone somewhere in the United States. You could make a phone call. But how do you text on the thing? This is a breakthrough. The researchers who created this, not me, they're the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. 40 years of study, 100 studies, thousands of people to figure this out. We're going to go over that in a moment. Now, lest you think it's just like 30 days, this is the daughter of a friend of mine who's a realtor. Wait till you see her results. How about 60 pounds in 3 months, everybody? 60. How's that look to you? I'm going to just sit back and let you see. Look at the change. Look at her arms. Look at her face. It's the same person. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, they Photoshop. Oh, my God, it's unhealthy to lose that much weight. No, it's not. If you first of all, would anybody believe you could ever do this on a diet? Really? You're all settling for a half a pound a week, and you have a celebration, because that's the limitation of diets. And what kind of weight are you actually losing? Did you all know that all the studies, which I'll show you in a few minutes, 25 to 40% of the weight you're losing on a diet is your lean muscle mass. And when that happens, your brain slows down your metabolism. That's why initially you lose weight on all these stupid diets, then you plateau, then you come off the diet, you gain everything back. On this, they gain 6 to 9% lean muscle. But also, when you lose lean muscle, guess what else you slow down? Your immune system. So these darn diets, they're doing something to you, all right. It's not the number on the scale. They're actually making you unhealthy. Wake up, America. Stop being locked into people that are not giving you any medical proof. You're entrusting your health to someone giving you an opinion. We're not giving you opinions. We're showing you medical proof for free. And we won't even contact you. You get to decide, is it, wow, this is amazing. Someone coached us. We didn't know how to do this. No one did. This was a theory when they started. I'm going to explain to you just in a moment. How did they do that? How did she do this? So let's go back and start with Kristen, because she only had 35 pounds to lose, folks, and she lost 21.2 pounds and 38 inches from her neck to her ankles in just 30 days. Now, here's what the researchers did. First, they had to figure out, after 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people, why diets failed long term. Absolutely. They all across the board failed. I mean, in 1964, we had 15% of the population overweight and obese. 15%. In 2024, it was at 80% overweight, 50% obese, 50% pre-diabetic. Does that sound like any of you that, I mean, be honest. Does that sound like diets are working? You all go into these with great hope. And right now, this time of year, you got graduations, you got weddings, you got summer coming. Everybody's on the bandwagon. But what are you going to do? Paleo, keto, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, Cornish, zone, lose weight for your blood type, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, on and on and on and on. But it's getting worse and worse and worse. The more diets we have, the worse off we are. This is nuts. This is crazy. And you can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to listen to us if you don't want to. But this is the only medical breakthrough ever on diets and obesity. They have the medical proof that they finally have figured out why diets don't work and what you can do about it. So here's why diets don't work. A diet is nothing to do with calorie counting, because the human body has no idea what a calorie is. Does anybody know the definition of a calorie? You can put it in there. I'll wait. I want to do this. I'm serious. I will even be a picture client. Captain Caveman. I like you, man. That's great. So Captain. Okay, Captain, let me show you right now. I'm going to stop for everybody to see. Captain, do yourself a favor. Go to the new health conversation. Right there, you can see it. Do you see it, Captain? Make sure, put a yes so I know you see it and everybody else sees it, okay? And we only have 18 likes, everybody. Some good friends somebody gave me a heart. Thank you. Crystal, Rose. Tap on that screen. This is going to change the world. It can change your life. So, Captain, do you see it? Okay. So the new health conversation. So let me be clear for all of you. If you go there, we will not contact you. Please understand that. No, it's not because we're not interested. We want you to be comfortable. This isn't some pitch. It's not some trick to get you to go to the website and then, if you sign up for something, then we'll show you the medical evidence. No, the medical evidence is up front. If you like what you see, scroll down, Captain. It says sign up, free consultation. It's free coaching the whole time for you. So that's what I want to impress upon all of you. Now let's come back to explain to Captain and everybody else, what did they actually do? So the researchers figured out that the reason diets failed was they were based on the flawed premise, nothing to do with calories. Is anybody giving me the definition of a calorie yet? I'm still waiting. I'll tell you in a moment if no one knows. Essentially what the failure of diets was, when you go on a diet, you're reducing the amount of food that you're consuming or an ingredient. Like if you do keto, you're limiting carbohydrates, okay? The problem with that is your brain, your body has a certain amount of nutrition that it needs in order to run all the organs, okay? When you reduce the amount of food you're consuming, what else are you reducing? Nutrition. When that happens, the brain figures out that you're now in starvation mode from a nutritional standpoint of view, and absolutely stops your body from using the energy stored in your fat cells and turns for fuel, because it still has to run the heart, the kidney, right? To your muscles for fuel. When that happens, the brain has no choice. It slows down your metabolism. That's why you lose weight initially on these diets, and then it slows to a trickle, and then you plateau, and then you come off the diet and you gain everything back. Who's telling you this? Who the hell is telling you this? Nobody. And the problem with that is that the body also, because there's less fuel to go around, it has to make compromises. Not just your metabolism, but it slows down your own immune system. You're going on these crazy diets, losing weight, and there's your number on the scale, yay. But you're making yourself unhealthy. Do you all get this? These diets make you unhealthy. Not my opinion. This is a medical proof, right? Now, so the researchers said, okay, is it possible? They didn't know it was a theory. Could we give, everybody's case, could we give them less food, but somehow increase the nutrition, not decrease it. How the heck did they do that? Here's how. They developed a food list. Only 30% of the food she consumed, listen to me, everyone, 30% came from a grocery list the researchers developed that she took to the grocery store. Now, here's one thing that was completely different. Instead of worrying about calories, they worried about serving sizes. Because remember, they weren't, only thing they were constant, can we give more nutrition in less food quantity? Got it? All right. The other 70% of what she consumed came from food groups not sold by the researchers didn't discover it. Other researchers had found foods in Russia, in Mongolia, in Tibet, in the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand that had huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. Okay? And those 5 foods from those countries represented massive amounts of nutrition, but not a lot as far as quantity. Has everybody got that? So 30% she consumed from the grocery store and 70% from these 5 foods around the world. And then based on this, they created 2 completely new ways of eating. By the way, the protocol is called R2M, stands for race to maintenance. We'll talk about that in a minute. The only reason to do this is to maintain this weight loss for the rest of your life. Hell, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. Now, what she did, what they had people do was 5 days a week, they did something called protein pacing. On those days, she had 4 meals a day. She started the morning with the 5 foods around the world. No food from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner from these 5 food groups around the world. That was 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something, and I know it's going to spin all of you out. Listen to me carefully. She did intermittent nutritional fasting. What the heck is that? Not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store at all, only these 5 foods around the world. But now she ate 8 times a day. What? Yeah. She was having something every hour and a half to 2 hours over the course of, 14 or 16 hours, whatever it was. Look at the results, everybody. Look at this. Now, you can think we didn't Photoshop anything. This is real. I know that all your skepticism flags go up and this guy's full. No, I'm not. Because, again, it's backed by the peer-reviewed studies, which are on the web. As a matter of fact, let me show all of you, including Captain, everybody else. I'm going to show you the website. I think I am. Oh, yeah. There's nothing to buy on the website. The only thing on there is the medical proof. Like module number 1 is an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. They have no products to sell. They don't have a company. There's scientists who crack the code on obesity for all of us. For all of us. Instead of this crazy counting calories that's making you unhealthy. You didn't know that, of course, but hopefully you know this now. Yeah, I get really animated because the thing is somebody has to stand up for all of us. But look at the change. Look at her stomach area. Now you think she can't suck in her arms. Look at her arms. Look at her face. I mean, I know it's too good to be true, and I know you're skeptical. I get it. I do this every day, all day long. I do anyways. Oh, we're up to 755 likes. Will this ignite your metabolism? It's not that it replaces your hormones. It makes your hormones work better. Does that make sense? And absolutely, it's amazing. Ken Shepley. Who else is on here? Shane, Val, Philip, Elwin, Zur, Moni. Please tap on the screen. Let's get as many likes as possible. I'd love some audience participation. Do you have questions for me? Do you want to know more? What can I possibly do for you? Here's the best thing for a lot of people just came on. You all can go to that website and read the new health conversation. There's nothing to buy there. We're not going to contact you if you go there. The only thing there is the medical proof behind these before and afters I'm showing you. As a matter of fact, on the website, there's even more. There's people on the website that lost 100 pounds, no loose skin. Yeah. Now, for any of you that might be athletes or saying, well, I don't really need to lose weight, look at this. This is 11 days. Look at the transformation. Day 1, pretty good shape. But 4 days later, look at that. And then 11, that's the morning of day 12. Look at the transformation. Look at that. You think it's a diet? I mean, hello, wake up. This is the solution. But I know most of you are going to go back to paleo, keto, Mediterranean, carnivore, cycling, macros, all nonsense, hot air, no proof, nothing works. I mean, I'm going to read to you from studies that will shock you. What people like Harvard Medical School, admitting they made a mistake. Listen to this. Stop counting calories. They said most people have been taught that losing weight is a matter of simple math. Cut calories, specifically 3,500, and you'll lose about a pound. But as it turns out, experts are learning that this decades-old strategy is totally misguided. The idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not just antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to take a different approach and concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. That's what these researchers did, and they have nothing to do with Harvard. This is Harvard Medical School saying they were wrong. Stop counting calories. Stop. They're saying it. Stop. Right here, the title. Stop counting calories. That's not Peter Greenlaw telling you that. These people stop counting calories. I mean, but look at everyone. Look at Curtis. Remember, you get older, it's really hard to lose weight. Don't tell Curtis that. He lost 10 pounds a week, 52 inches. Least important part of his story. Look at his blood work. Look at the lab work, everyone. A1C, 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides, 242 to 124. Now, you can think we made this up. We don't have to make up anything because we've been the only ones with real medical proof behind what we're saying to you today. And we didn't invent it. But we're sharing it with you. And we're willing to coach you for free because someone coached us. We didn't invent this. We don't sell any. We don't have any products. So, contacting. Okay, sorry. What is the protocol? Okay, Crystal, let me explain it to you. Wow, we're at 1,000 likes. Keep the thing. Okay, so let's go back to Kristen for just a moment. And the reason I like to use her, she only had 35 pounds to lose. Would you say, how excited, Crystal, would you be if you could lose 20 pounds in a month, 5 pounds a week? Would that excite you? So let me explain to you what she did. She did not go on a diet. The researchers who invented this are the top weight loss researchers in the world for 40 years, 100 studied, thousands of people, and what they concluded was calorie counting is dead, over, it doesn't work. So what they concentrated on and said was all a diet really is, Crystal, is you reduce the amount of food you're consuming. Let's be honest. That's all. At the end of the day, if you look at it, that's what happens. But what they're not telling you is you reduce the amount of food you're consuming, you're also reducing the amount of nutrition. So the researchers, in order to counteract that, said, wait a minute, we did that for 40 years. In other words, reduce the amount of food people were consuming and ignoring how much nutrition they were getting or weren't getting at that point. So they said, can we give you, in everybody's case, they created something where you could eat less food but more nutrition. And they did it, here's how they did it. You'd get a grocery list. 30% of the food you'd consume, like she consumed, was a grocery list that you'd take to the grocery store. Proteins, fats, carbs, salads, etc. But what was different, instead of basing it on calories, they based it on serving sizes. How much of each kind of food was she having? Now, they were able to offset the fact that, see, here's the problem with our food in North America. It's all but nutritionally bankrupt, even when it's organic, okay? So the research, they knew this because for 40 years they'd given people organic food. People lost weight initially, and then every person gained back all their weight, and 2/3 of them ended up weighing more than when they started because what they were losing on these diets, it's proven now medically, 25 to 40% of what you lose on a diet is your lean muscle mass. That's why people end up with all that loose skin because they didn't lose fat. See, this is a bunch of nonsense. There's no such thing as burning fat. So you don't go on a diet to burn fat. You don't exercise to burn fat. You're born with a certain number of fat cells and you die with a certain amount, and they either expand or they contract, okay? So what they did was they then found, they didn't find it, but other researchers had found foods in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, in the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, that had huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. So now they had the ingredients. 30% from the grocery store, she had a list. These other 5 foods around the world. Then they invented 2 different ways for these people to consume it. 5 days a week, they all had 4 meals a day. Yes, they started with the world's most perfect foods, these 5 foods. Lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a fourth meal from these 5 food groups around the world. So 5 days a week, she was having 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting. Don't get nervous, not fasting, not water fasting, not this time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these 5 foods around the world. But this time, on an intermittent nutritional fasting day, she literally ate 8 times a day. She was having something every hour and a half for 2 hours over about 14 or 16 hours. Look at the results. Those are the results. And it's backed up by medical proof. She lost no water weight. And instead of losing lean muscle, she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. I didn't tell you the best part. No one was allowed to exercise. She did not exercise because the researchers didn't want exercise to be part of it. It's not that they're not against exercise. We have tons of people now, athletes that are doing this, that don't exercise. Now, here's what else is cool. We have kids as young as 2 doing this. We have a lady 91. We have a man with a heart transplant. We have people with no thyroids, people with no gallbladders, people with kidney transplants. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or making any medical proclamations. We're just sharing with you, look, here's the point. If you could give yourself the most amount of nutrition in the fewest quantity of food, your body just runs better. Does this make sense to everybody? Okay, but look at Julie in 37 days. Look at that. Now you can think we photoshopped it. We didn't photoshop the damn thing. Look at it. Look at it, everybody. What do you think? You think we're faking it? You think we made it up? You think we're lying? We're not. Look at that, everyone. Is that amazing? Crystal, here's the key. You can't. That's the problem. I mean, you're not going to buy it at your grocery store. These suppliers who supplied to the... So anyway, at the New Health Conversation, Crystal, go there, see the medical proof, then scroll down. The coaching's free. They'll give you you'll get the grocery list, which you take your grocery store and show you how to buy directly from the suppliers. So the suppliers are not sold in a grocery store. They're coming, because these products come from Russia and from Mongolia and from Tibet, South America, New Zealand. But you get coached for free. It's like you join the gym and you get a free personal trainer. Why wouldn't you do that? Now, why would we do it? We were coached. Nobody does this without getting coached. You've never done anything. So this is not like, oh, here are the ingredients and go for it. It doesn't work like that. But if you go to the website, we won't contact you. I promise we will. We don't do that. We don't have to. We let you see the medical proof. Then, if you want, sign up to get a free coach the whole time. And by the way, Crystal, it's called R2M, Race to Maintenance. It's not a question, can we get the weight off you? It's teaching you how to keep it off for the rest of your life. Crystal, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. I know it's too good to be true. But Crystal, there's no pressure here. You have a free website to go see the medical proof. If that, if that piques your interest more, then you get a free coach. How could you not want to do that? Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe you think we're making it up. But the medical proof is irrefutable medical evidence. It's in the biggest medical journals in the world that are in the public domain. And we even provide the links to go see the studies. I mean, I don't know what more we can do for all of you except this, and it's free to go there. And we won't contact you if you go there. Why wouldn't any of you do that? Wow, we got almost 3,000 likes. Come on, let's get some more likes, everybody. So I'm sorry that I haven't been saying hello, everybody. I'm so concentrated on what the hell I'm talking about. User 245, wow. Debbie Pearson. Happy Girl, Holly's the girl. I obviously said hello to you, Crystal. Crystal, like I said, I'm speaking, Crystal, to you, but I'm speaking to everybody. Does everyone agree they don't have to? Crystal, we're in a crisis. I mean, I don't know if you were here when I read to you before from Johns Hopkins Medical School. Study predicts obesity, apocalypse by 2030. 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. Crystal, I'm just curious, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But how many different diets have you been on that you lost weight initially and you gained everything back? Right? I mean, all of you heard the yo-yo term. There's a reason for that. Here's the reason. It's not your fault. It's the wrong methodology. It's the wrong approach. Because when all a diet is reducing the amount of food. It's nothing. This stuff about counting calories is nonsense. A calorie isn't a real thing. It's a measurement. It's the amount of heat it takes to raise a gram of water 1 degree Celsius. Why are we counting calories? Because someone told us to. No, the only thing your body cares about, when you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. You're hungry for nutrition. And when you go on a diet and reduce the amount of food you're consuming, what else you're reducing, everyone? Nutrition. That's what the researchers said. Wait a minute. Wait, hold the fort. It's not about the quantity that you're consuming. It's about the quality, the nutritional density. It's the only thing that matters to your body. Unless you satisfy those nutritional needs, you will be starving forever. Do you know people that are obese, there's a hormone, it's called leptin. Leptin tells you when you're full. Sadly, you all heard of insulin resistance, right? You all know that term. But did you know in obese people, they have something called leptin resistance? So that mechanism that turns off their hunger, there's so much leptin, the body doesn't know what to do. So that's why they have insatiable appetites. Any of you, my own mom was morbidly obese my whole life. And a really sad story. 24 years ago, she called me up one day before I became a researcher and said, Peter, I have one really big wish in my life. I said, Mom, what's that? She said, I would give anything if I could spend one day thin. I said, wow, Mom, that's really cool. Well, 6 months later, massive heart attack and stroke. My mom did about every diet there was, from the grapefruit diet to the cabbage soup diet to OptiFast to Weight Watchers to, you name it. And I saw her, she'd lose maybe 20 pounds. And then eventually her willpower didn't work and she'd eat like 2 or 3 pounds of raw hot dogs and she'd gain all that weight back in maybe a couple of weeks. It broke my heart. I still miss my mom. She was awesome. If I can make a difference in one of your lives, or just one, I'd like to be able to see if we could do that. But it's not me. We're not here to convince you. We're not here to sell you. We're here to educate you. That's what that website's for. Now, I have written 4 best-selling books, all with medical doctors. I've done 20 shows on PBS. I was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America and did over 1,500 live lectures in hospitals, universities. They even flew me to China. But I want to assure you that didn't mean a damn thing for 22 years. Why? Because there were no peer review. When I said didn't mean anything in the medical world, it meant zero, because there was no medical proof behind it. Well, now, there's 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies that have all come out over the course of the last about 14 or 16 months. Because these medical trials with human beings take a long time. They cost a lot of money. I didn't do them. I had nothing to do with it. We're showing you the evidence. Again, everyone, doesn't this excite you? Wouldn't you like to know? How many of you would give anything to lose 5 pounds a week? She only had 35 pounds to lose. So it's not like she had 100 pounds to lose and she lost, 20 pounds in a month. But this is consistent across the board. And by the way, none of these people exercise. You bet, Crystal. Please go there and look at everything. And Crystal, for all of you, the reason coaching is important is you've never done anything like this before. So it's not just the ingredients. You all know in cooking, you got ingredients, but without a recipe, you don't have much, right? I understand you're all skeptical. I understand most of you are going to go back to paleo or keto or Mediterranean or whatever crazy thing you're doing. But are you producing results like this in 37 days? And these people have kept the weight off now for 8, 9, 10 years. In my case, I've kept it off for 23 years. I know it sounds too good to be true, but doesn't somebody have to stand up for all of us and say, wait a minute, just you don't even have to be a scientist to say this. If in 1964, 15% of America was overweight or obese, and in 2024, we're at 80% overweight, 50% obese, 50% pre-diabetic, does anyone think that diets are working? And I've got the statistics here. Where are they? Let me read to you from the statistics. This is the chronology. Oh, here it is. This is the chronology of overweight and obesity. So in 2000, we were at 66% of the population overweight or obese. In 2010, 10 years later, we were at 70.8% of the population overweight or obese. In 2020, it went to 79% overweight or obese. And by 2030, in less than 5 years, they're now estimating, actually in this survey, 86.3% of Americans will be overweight or obese. Honestly, any of you, do you think that diets work? I I don't want to call it lying, okay? I really believe they're telling you what they believe. But what they're telling you to do is total hogwash based on the medical studies that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. But I want everyone to understand this is not a diet. It doesn't work like that, okay? And we're at 3,000 likes. Can we get some more taps on the screen? Come on, everybody. This is for all of you. Again, let's go back and take a look real quickly. That's the free website you can go to see the medical proof. There's nothing to buy there. We won't contact you if you go there. The only way we'll contact you is if you scroll down and sign up for a free coach. The coaching's free. I know it sounds crazy, right? Crazy. But the other part of it, you have to understand these people, like let's take Curtis. He lost 10 pounds a week. Now he still has a little bit more weight to lose, but look at his stomach. That's 30 days. That's a an older gentleman. But you always hear, well, when you get older, you can't lose weight. I mean, look at his face. His double chin basically is gone. In 30 days, I know you think we photoshopped that. I know you do, I know you do, I know you do. We didn't Photoshop a damn thing. Why would you go on? Would you want to compete with this on your diet where maybe you're going to lose a pound a week? I understand it makes you skeptical. I get that. But the reason take the skepticism out, we have the peer-reviewed human trial studies proving it works, proving it. I mean, how about Andy? How about 45 pounds and 60 inches in a month? But look at the blood work. Look at his A1C under lab work. See it there in green? Lab work. A1C, 7.9 to 6.2. But look at the LDL cholesterol. Went from 120 to 59 in 30 days. 30 days. And then this is the daughter of a good friend of mine. He's a realtor. How about 60 pounds in 3 months? That's 5 pounds a week consistently over 3 months. She didn't have any more weight to lose. Now, I know you think it's Photoshopped. It's not Photoshopped. That's a real picture of a real person who I personally know. And that picture is about 8 years old, and she's kept the weight off now for 8 years. I mean, it's so sad that we're so brainwashed and we're only told calories in, calories out. I get people on here all the time. Okay, what's the website? Right here. There it is. So you see it? Birdie. You see it above my head? The New Health Conversation. Just put a yes in there for me, Birdie, to make sure you can see it and you understand. That's free to go to. We won't contact you. Only if you contact us, you can get a free coach. It's going to give you the grocery list of the foods you order from your grocery store, and they'll show you how to get the other 5 foods from around the world that you can't buy in your grocery store, that these researchers found in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represent huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. So again, please let me know that you have all seen that website that I'm showing you there in red above my head, the New Health Conversation. Don't you think we need one? Don't all of you think we need a new health conversation with 80% of America overweight today, 50% obese, 50% pre-diabetic? But how about these results, everyone? I mean, seriously, at a minimum, okay, let's say this is a minimum, because she had like the least amount of weight that she needed to lose, but 21 pounds, 38 inches in a month. Please tell me. You can put it in the chat. I'm skeptical. Okay, let's get over that. The skepticism is handled on the website with, you can see the medical proof. Do you understand? There's nothing to buy there. Why wouldn't you at least go investigate? What's holding you back? What? You think we're going to trick you? Oh, all of a sudden someone called me. Hell no, we're not calling you. We're too busy to do that. We want to put the control back for you. We want the medical proof. We want you to follow the medical proof. On the website, there's an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. He and his team created this after 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people. You know what they concluded? Every diet failed. Every person gained back all their weight and more. And they invented this. And basically what she did was she was given a food list. Only 30% of what she consumed came from the grocery store. Now, what was unique about the list, it wasn't based on calories. It was based on serving sizes, proteins, fats, carbs, salad dressing, fruits, etc. So no guesswork. But the other 70%, this is the cool part, not from your grocery store, not from North America. These food groups found by other research, because the people who invented this, they don't have a company. They don't have any products. They're scientists. We don't have any products. We don't sell anything to you. You're buying directly from the suppliers who supplied these 5 foods to the researchers, And they come from Russia, from Mongolia, from Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represent huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. You got it? But that wasn't the end of it. That was the ingredients. And if you all know in cooking, you got ingredients, but without a recipe, what are you going to make? So they created a new recipe. Let's call it that. 5 days a week, everyone, including her, had 4 meals a day. You heard me, 4 meals a day, starting with the world's most perfect meal, lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal from these foods from around the world. 5 days a week, those 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these 5 foods, but now 8 times a day. 8 meals. Look at the results. Now, a couple of things that are important. The picture you're looking at is about 8 years old. So she's maintained the weight loss now for more than 8 years. But the key to this, so I didn't mention this before, the key to this is maintenance. Don't do this to lose weight. The number on the scale to us is less important, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But the idea here is that you set yourself up long term. Now, how simple is maintenance? That's what I do. I have the world's most perfect meal in the morning once every day, 2 normal meals, and then maybe every couple months I do another 48-hour. Once I got to my goal, that's why it's called race to maintenance. The whole idea is to get the weight off you and then teach you how to keep it off for the rest of your life. But now we're going to get into really the main reason why you want to consider doing this. Do you all believe, anybody put a yes in the chat, if you believe we're living in a toxic world? Did you see the study from 3 weeks ago where they're finding microplastics in our brain and in our coronary arteries? Well, there's a new medical syndrome that I have and you have and every person in the world. It's called the TDOS syndrome. T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, overweight, and stress. Yeah, I did discover it. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office, of a new medical condition, a syndrome. We're storing chemicals inside our body, inside our fat cells. That's why that's why you have all that excess fluff, whatever you want to call it, bloating. The fat cells, now here's the other thing they're lying to you about. We're going to burn fat on this diet. No, you're not. We're going to exercise, we're going to burn fat. No, you're not. It's just a total lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells. You die with a certain number of fat cells. Now they can expand or they can contract. That's it. So think of a fat cell like a balloon. The chemical comes in the body freaks out. My God, what are we going to do with these chemicals? Stuffing them in the fat cell expands. In these studies, what did they find through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis? This is removing, half the body's doing it. It's assisting the body in removing the chemicals from us. No diet has ever been shown to remove a gram of a toxin from us. Do you know in a month, the first time ever, inflammation, which is a underlying cause of every disease out there, it came down 25% in a month. But here's the thing that was shocking. In a month's time, people reported their hunger went down by 41%. Cravings, 40% reduction in 30 days. Plus, blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all came down dramatically just in 30 days. It's not a diet. This is a way of life. It's a lifestyle. And the maintenance is so simple. Don't you have to eat every day? Don't you? You're putting the world's, the researchers call these combinations the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. Nothing to do with quality, quantity. It's not about kale or spinach or broccoli or whatever. No, it's a whole different ballgame. And they only let people have 30% of the food that they consume came from the United States because our food's so nutritionally bankrupt. But they offset that with these 5 food groups from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand that had huge amounts of nutrition. That's how they were able to give people less food and people weren't hungry. Because you're never hungry for food. You're never hungry for calories. You're hungry for nutrition. Am I making sense to everybody? Please put it in the chat. Yes. Oh my God, yes, Bertie, for sure in Canada. Good, Crystal. That's wonderful. You'll probably get contacted, Crystal, within 24 hours, maybe even yet today. Okay, so Nemo Muhammad, yes to what? I'm not quite sure. Oh, you're saying yes, it makes sense. Okay, great. Wow, we're at 3,600 likes. Thank you all so much. Please tap on that button. Let's get some more likes. Let's keep going. I want to go as long as I can. I can go for as much as, let's see, approximately 7. I can go for about another 45 minutes, let's say. So we're at about 45 minutes now. So let's say an hour and a half total. I want to help as many people as I can. Please, anybody, ask me questions. This is a lot. Oh my God, somebody sent me a heart. Thank you, Crystal. But the rest of you, tap on the screen. Let's make this the biggest site on all of social media. I mean, some of you maybe see these grow rooms. They're really fun and they're exciting and whatever. But are they doing anything to change the rest of your life? I mean, maybe you're really lucky, but Johns Hopkins is saying that 86% of you, within less than 5 years, 86% of Americans will be overweight or obese. Now let's look at some of the studies. Why don't diets work? Well, let's start with this big study. Remember, nothing I'm sharing with you, also for the censors, nothing I'm sharing is an opinion on my part. I'm reading from these medical studies. The title of this, Why You Shouldn't Count Calories. While counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, our researchers found that approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's even worse, 2/3 of people who try to count or restrict calories gain back more weight than they lost. So the diet you're on right now, guess what? You're going to end up weighing in the long run more than when you started. You'd be better off not to do the diet at all. Don't even start it. But let's keep going. This is a big study titled The Science Behind Why Diets Don't Work. Not my title. Here's what they said. Researchers found, despite all the ads that say otherwise, it's very rare for people to lose weight and keep it off for good. Not only that, 2/3 of people who diet regain more weight than they lost by calories in, calories out, ending up at a higher weight than where they started. The researchers looked at over 30 long-term studies showing that going on a diet actually causes weight gain. The more diets someone has tried, the more they weigh. So not only does dieting not work for long-term weight loss, but it's associated with increased risk of binge eating, eating disorders, and long-term weight gain. What are you doing? It's not your fault. We're on your side. But I know that most of you are going to go back because we're so brainwashed. Calories in, calories out, celebrity endorsements, Hollywood, shots, whatever it is. We'll talk about the shots in just a moment. But let's keep going here. Another big study. Have our attempts to curb obesity done more harm than good? These aren't my opinions. Our researchers searched through PubMed database on obesity, dieting, and eating disorders and did not limit the study by population or year. We found studies showing that calories in, calories out dieting causes short-term weight loss. However, it's associated with weight gain in the long term. Another study saying the same thing. But this is the clincher. This is Medicare, okay? Listen to the title of their study. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments, because the cost of this, if we go to 86% obese and overweight, do you think the healthcare system is going to be able to support this? It's not a pun, by the way. They went on to say, Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. Listen to what they say. Our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets, calories in, calories out, to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The research studies showed that 2/3 of dieters regain more weight than they lost on their diets. And these studies likely underestimate the extent to which dieting is counterproductive because of several methodological problems, all of which bias the studies towards showing successful weight loss maintenance. In summary, there is little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. What are you all doing? I mean, I've got more if you want to see more, but let's go to another damning study. This is in the Journal of the American Medical Association, okay? I mean, do any of you think I'm making this stuff up? Because I'm not. So the Journal of the American Medical Association, one of the big medical journals, did a study, and it was titled Comparison of Weight Loss Among Named Diet Program. But why is that? I'm sorry, Les Hubbard. Good morning, Peter, Peggy, RN. Hi, Peggy. Lee Hubbs, I'm not quite sure, but let me read this study and then please make your question more, so I can answer it. I'm not quite sure what you mean, but why is that? Well, I'm not sure, but why is what? You mean that every diet people are gaining weight in the long run? Just clarified. Let me just finish this study. So the study, comparison of weight loss among named diet programs in overweight and obese adults. What they did, in the study, they named all the major diets: paleo, keto, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, carnivore, time-restricted eating, zone diet, the Atkins diet, the Scarsdale, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers Nutrisystem. Okay, they did a 12-month study. Now, here's why you're going to learn that diets are completely useless. Over 12 months, when they looked at the most amount of weight loss on any diet, let's say it was the Mediterranean diet. Let's say I'm making this up. Let's say the least amount of weight loss was in the paleo. I'm not making up the results. I just don't know which diet was the most and which was the least. But they published in there the difference in weight loss over 12 months, depending on whatever diet was on, was only 10 ounces in a year. The weight loss was about 16 pounds in a year, and up to 40% of what they lost was lean muscle mass. You think diets work? Really? Now, let's talk about, I want to come back to Lee's question. Because again, Lee, but why is that? I'm not quite sure what the why is that. Can you elaborate on that for me for just a moment? While you're doing that, Lee, or anybody else that wants to ask me a question, now let's take a look at the shots, the GLP-1s, Ozempic, semaglutide, tirzepatide. There's a whole flood of them, right? We're not against the shots. Let me be clear. Let me say that again. We're not against the shots. They're helping diabetics because they need it, and people that are morbidly obese. But let's look at what are the real results, not what you're seeing in the ads on TV. This is the New England Journal of Medicine. It's a 68-week study. 68 weeks, okay? The weight loss after 68 weeks was 32 pounds, and of the 32 pounds people lost, 40% was lean muscle mass. It's right in the study. They went on to say that these are clinically relevant reductions in body weight. 32 pounds in 68 weeks. Wait a second. I don't think Crystal got the message, did she? Because she lost 21 pounds in a month. And then Curtis didn't get the message. He lost 40 pounds in a month. 68 weeks to lose 32 pounds, and that's relevant weight loss? Really? Or Andy? 45 pounds in a month, that's 11 pounds a week, safely. Look at his blood work. A1C 7.9 to 6.2, LDL cholesterol is 120 to 59. It's completely safe, backed by medical proof. On our website, all free for you to go. You can see it, the New Health Conversation. It's all free. There's an interview with the #1 nutrition weight loss physiologist in the world. Why wouldn't you listen to him? Why are you listening to these influencers, nice people? They don't have a damn shred of medical evidence. They're giving you opinions. Chiropractors and medical doctors and dietitians and nutritionists and workout people and health coaches and weight loss coaches. If any of them had a solution, they'd be trillionaires. Trillionaires. We have more diets than ever, and we're fatter than we've never been this bad. And John Hopkins is saying that, it's crazy. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? Hell, they've done a great job of convincing us, because I know that 99.9% of you're going to go back to doing paleo, keto. You have free access to the medical proof. What, you're gonna pretend it's not there? It doesn't matter. I'm not the reason. I'm the researcher of the research. It's not my research. But somebody has to give you the evidence that diets are a miserable failure, and now there's a solution for all of us, everybody. Hell, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. So anyway, so Lee Hubbard, but why is that? Lee, I'm still trying to figure out what the rest of your question is, okay? So who else would like to ask me a question? Again, look at April. This is the daughter of a friend of mine. Look at that. 60 pounds in 3 months? Well, wait a minute. The shot, they lost 32 pounds in 68 weeks. She didn't get the memo. How long would it, based on this, how long would it take her on the shot to lose 60 pounds? Well, let's just say it was 68 weeks to lose 32 pounds. Let's double that. That would be 132 weeks, which is, what's that, 2.5, 100. More than almost 2 3/4 years. She did it in 60 days. I know it seems too sensational. It's unhealthy. Oh my God. No, it's not. Look, where's the loose skin? Look at her face, her arms. She's a completely, I know you think we photoshopped. They put a different woman in there. No, we didn't. You can think whatever you want to think. We're at 3,600 likes. Come on, let's get some more taps on the screen to get this up. Let's make this a huge site. Jennifer, thank you. Zinbab Camus, hello, Crater. You're following the live. River Jr. joined. I mean, I'd love some comments, Teddy or Juicy Fruit Ree or Lee. What do you think about that before and after picture? Assuming you realize it's not photoshopped. It's not an anomaly. There are people on the website. Let me go back and show everybody the website again. It's free to go there in red. You can see it above my head, the new health conversation. There are people that lost 100 pounds, no loose skin. What? Yeah, go look. It's free and we're not going to contact you. If you go to that website, we won't contact you. Why would we need to? There's the medical proof. If you like what you see and notice, free coaching, scroll down and get a free coach that'll show you here's the grocery list of what 30% of the food they consumed. The other 70% came from these 5 food groups around the world. The coach will show you how to buy from them. Then the coach is going to teach you how they did what they did in the studies, because we were all coached. We didn't invent this. The researchers did. I mean, it's just, now I'm going to show you another picture and you will say, oh my God, they photoshopped this. This can't possibly be real. No, it's real. I just have to find it here if I have it. I don't know what I did with it. That doesn't matter oh yeah, I did. I found it. Now this gentleman, about, let's say 350 pounds. This is exactly 50 days. Let's go back and reference New England Journal of Medicine, 68 weeks, 32 pounds. Okay, this is not Photoshop. 50 days, 75.6 pounds, 64.75 inches. His blood pressure went from 149/81 to 103/64. Look at his triglycerides, 278 down to 112. I mean, this is crazy. Good. There's now hope for all of us, including all of you, but not if you do a traditional diet. I mean, again, Medicare. This is a Medicare study. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. That's Medicare saying that. That's not Peter Greenlaw saying that. Our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets. This is Medicare saying this. Restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies show that 2/3 of dieters regain more weight than they lost on diets. In summary, there is little support for the notion that diets, calories in, calories out, lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. What are you doing? You're entrusting your health, because weight loss is also part of your health, right? To people giving you opinions. My God, now we have the medical proof that it's completely safe. And I mean, she only had 35 pounds, she lost 21 pounds in a month, 38 inches. And has major energy. And this picture was 8 years old. What's the diet and cause? Okay, Harb, you haven't been on. It's not a diet. It has nothing to do with dieting. Okay, let's get that out of the way. All right? The researchers who invented this invented a completely different way of losing weight. Number one, nothing to do with counting calories. What they did, they created a new approach where they could give people less food, but they increased nutrition. And so what they did, 30% of what she did, you buy from the researchers don't have any products to sell you. They don't have a company. We don't sell you anything. This is food. 30% of what you're going to buy, you buy from your grocery store, you get a grocery list. The other 70% come from 5 food groups from other researchers, not the ones who created this and not from us. You buy directly from them, from foods they found in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that aren't available in your local grocery store or farmer's market. They come from all over the world and represent huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. So now they had the ingredients. Then what they had her do and everybody else, 5 days a week, people had 4 meals a day. They started with these 5 foods around the world, nothing from the grocery store, lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, these 5 foods again. Then 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting. On those days, not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, she had no food from the grocery store, only these 5 foods around the world, but this time 8 times a day. She was eating about every hour and a half. Now, what's amazing, in the first 30 days, people reported their hunger went down by 41%. So it wasn't based on quantity, it was based on quality. The other part of this is so amazing. The picture you're looking at there is about from 8 or 9 years ago. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. The protocol, we didn't invent it. We have nothing to do with that. It's called R2M, race to maintenance. The only reason to do this, it's not a question. You're going to lose weight 10 times faster than any diet you've ever been on. But when they did the measurements, instead of people losing any water weight, they lost none. Instead of losing any lean muscle, and no one was allowed to exercise, they gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. But the key is to teach you how to maintain this for the rest of your life. That's why this has nothing to do with dieting, has nothing to do with calorie counting. Revolutionary, completely different, and it's backed by 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies in the biggest medical journals in the world. They backed it up and said, yes, this is real. It's safe. This is what it's really doing for people. And you can see at this website above my head, the New Health Conversation. All the medical proof is there. There's nothing to buy on that site. We won't contact you if you go there. Yeah, I've written 4 best-selling books. There's no books for sale there. I don't want you to buy my books. We created the website for the world that they can go and access. My God, don't we need a solution? If John Hopkins is saying in less than 5 years, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese, and about 50% now are pre-diabetic, do you think we need a solution? Do you think any of these calories in, calories out schemes are working long-term? They're not. And that's what all the studies say. I mean, the science behind why diets don't work. Here we go. The researchers say, despite all the ads that say otherwise, it's rare for people to lose weight and keep it off for good. When we analyzed research, study after study, we found 2/3 of people who diet regain more weight than they actually lost, ending up at a higher weight than where they started. And a review of more than 30 long-term studies show that going on a diet actually causes weight gain. The more diets someone has tried, the more they weigh. There's your, I mean, I have oodles of studies saying the same thing. Now we know that going on a diet is causing you to gain weight. What in the heck are we doing? But you're all going to do that. You're all going to go and count calories again. It doesn't work. You can't tell me if 86% of America is going to be overweight or obese in less than 5 years that diets are working. If any of them worked, if paleo or keto or Mediterranean or time restricted, they'd have $1 trillion. Everybody would be doing it. They don't work. You can't possibly go to the mall today, go to Walmart, Kmart, go to your grocery store. Look at what's happening to us, Why? Because what we're doing doesn't work. It's like we have a square peg. They give us a round peg, and they're giving us a bigger hammer. That round peg's never going to fit in that square hole, no matter what you do. It's not my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. It's not my opinion. You all can do whatever you want to do in the morning. Let's see. What's the diet and cost, please? Okay, so how about, okay, I didn't answer your question. I explained the diet, the cost. If you took what you're spending on food now, 30% of what you're spending you use at the grocery store. The other 70% pretty much pays for these other 5 foods around the world. See, it's not a diet. It's not like you're buying food and then you're buying some supplement. No, it's not supplements. It's not pills, lotions, potions, etc. So you're going to spend probably pretty close to what you're spending now, total food budget. But look at the results. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How, if any of you are, be honest, put it in the chat. Say you're not on this podcast today. How long would you give yourself to lose 20 pounds? And how miserable would you be? These people, their hunger went down 40%, 41% in a month. It changed everything. And do you know when people go to maintenance, they feel their food budget, what they were spending on food before they did this, it goes down about 25 to 30%. I know it's too good to be true. I don't know what else. I don't know any other way to explain it to you except show you. I mean, look at Julie. Which diet would you go on to produce that in 37 days? Look at the change in her body. And by the way, it's about 35 pounds she lost. But look at the change from her face to her arms to her stomach to her legs. Now I know you think we photoshopped it. We didn't. It's not AI. It's real. This is really what happened. So, Harb, does that make sense? So you're going to probably spend about what you're spending now. But you get free coaching as well. Free. Not just to get you to your goal, like when she lost it, but then teaching her and you and everybody how to keep it. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. That's what should excite all of you. Listen, we're stuck at 3,600 likes. Come on, let's get to 4,000, 5,000, 718. Yeah, so I'm going to go about another 30 minutes, approximately around 30, 34 minutes. So you're all welcome to ask me whatever questions. This is live. It's not a pre-recorded. It's not a podcast. This is live. I mean, look at April. 60 pounds in 3 months. What? That's 5 pounds. Look at the change in her. No, Maria. No. Why are you confused? Maria, let me review again. You get a grocery list of proteins, fats, carbs, salads, etc. So 30% of what you're going to consume comes from those foods available in North America, organic in your grocery store. Let me review it again. 30% is what you call regular food in your grocery store, okay? The other 70%, it's not lotions, potions, pills, or capsules. These are the nutrients from these food groups from Russia, from Mongolia, from Tibet, from South America, New Zealand, that represent huge amounts of nutrition in very small quantities of food. But it's still food, okay? Then the other key was because they had all of this nutrition, they definitely were able to give everybody, including, this is April here, less food. But they increased the amount of nutrition. And then because of that, they were able to do things like give her 4 meals a day, starting with these 5 foods from around the world for breakfast, lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and the last meal of the day from these 5 foods from around the world. That was 5 days a week. That's called protein pacing. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these 5 foods from around the world. But this time, she had 8 meals a day. She was literally eating something about every hour and a half to 2 hours over the course of that. Now, she's this picture, and I know her. She's she's a daughter of a friend of mine. She's now kept it off for 8 or 9 years. But the key to this whole thing is maintenance. There's only one reason to do this. We're going to get the weight off you. It's like that's almost a throw in. But again, we have people who want to gain weight to do this. We have athletes that want to do this. We have kids as young as 2. We have a lady 91 years old. We have a man with a heart transplant. We have people with no thyroids. We have people with gallbladder transplants. We have people with kidney transplants. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or making any medical proclamations whatsoever. This is not a diet. Get that out of your mind. Another reason to get, the reason that we coach you for free, because we were coached, no one had ever done this before these researchers. But they had 40 years of experience on every diet out there proving none of these diets work long term. I mean, honestly, do you think there's any diet out there that Maria, is there any diet out there you think works? What would it be? Right at the website. Go to the website. The cost is, you're going to spend about what you're spending now in a month on whatever you're spending now on food. Only 30% you're going to spend at your grocery store, the other 70% from these 5 foods around the world. That's what people tell me all the time. Because again, it also depends. Nurse, wife, mom. Go to see it above my head, the new health conversation. You go there. We won't contact you. Okay? Get that straight. It's just the medical proof. If you like what you see, scroll down, you get a free coach. They'll show you how you can get started. You're buying nothing from them. Your 30% of your food you buy from the grocery store, the other 70% comes from these 5 food groups around the world. And then they show you how to do it, and then they teach you how to do maintenance once you've lost the weight. Does that, nurse, wife, mom, 3, does that make sense? Please give me a yes. And also, do you see the website above my head in red? The new health conversation. Don't you think we need one, everybody? Do you know every disease statistic is out of control? Do you know in 1990, about 1 in 10,000 kids were diagnosed autistic, and this year it's 1 in 34? In 1990, about 1 in 15 women got breast cancer. Now it's 1 in 8. But my God, we got autism, we got autoimmune diseases, we have a whole host of things going on. Thank God we have drugs for the diabetics, for the people with high blood pressure, for the cholesterol, all these things. But they're all lifestyle diseases that we're making ourselves unhealthy. Going on a diet is one of the most unhealthy things you could ever do by counting calories. The most unhealthy thing, because what happens on a diet, medical proof, 25 to 40% of what you're losing is lean muscle. Now, not only does that slow down your metabolism, and that's why you plateau on diets, that's why you gain everything back, but it also slows down your own immune system. So you're going on a diet without you knowing it. 2 things bad are happening. 1, you're going to make yourself unhealthy. And number 2, by losing lean muscle mass, you're going to gain all the weight back and more. That's what every study says. Well, 2/3 of you, on study after study saying that 2/3 of you will end up weighing more than when you started. Is anybody being truthful? Is anybody telling you this? I mean, you can push back and say, do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, do you really think you're going to weigh less 6 months from now than you do now? That's a sad reality. And I lost my mother to, my mom was morbidly obese. I loved her. She was awesome. And you can imagine your mom calls you up like 24, almost 25 years ago and says, I got one really big wish in my life, Peter. And I said, what? She said, I would give anything if I could spend one day thin. I said, wow, Mom, that's really cool. Well, 6 months later, massive heart attack and stroke. My mom was only like 62 years old. I loved my mom. I went through fat shaming. And I saw my mom literally do about every diet that was 24, 25 years ago. She did the grapefruit diet. She did the cabbage soup diet. She did OptiFast. She did Weight Watchers. She would cut diets out of the National Enquirer. I'd see her lose 20 pounds and gain 25 back. She kept getting bigger and bigger and sicker and sicker. At the end, water pills, all kinds of drugs, et cetera. She just wanted one day thin, one day, not a week, not a month, not a year. I saw fat shaming. I saw her crying. And she just went, why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I lose weight? It wasn't that she didn't attempt it. I'd see her lose 20 pounds and she'd gain 25 pounds back. Maybe some of you can relate. Maybe some of you can't relate. This is a really serious, this is my life's work. I've been doing it for 23 years. And before COVID, I'd done 1,500 live lectures around the world, including even in China. And all that time, I never charged a penny to anybody. I paid my own airfare, my hotel rental, my car rental, etc., because I thought it was so important that this message would get to the world. And to be quite honest with you, it was pretty frustrating because 22 of my 23-year career, there was no medical evidence. So nobody in the medical field would take it seriously. As a matter of fact, zero support. Despite the fact, and I have them here, I've written 4 best-selling books, which aren't for sale on the website, by the way. There's nothing to sell there, with medical doctors. It didn't matter until now. In these last 14 to 16 months, these medical studies have now come out. It's changed everything. We have medical doctors and physician's assistants and RNs and dietitians and nutritionists and weight loss people and athletes. They're coming to this because maybe their friend did it and had an unbelievable result. I mean, I'll be honest with you, our biggest challenge is we don't have enough coaches. But thank God people come on this, have such a great result, and then they want to help their sister, their brother, their custom, and we help them if they want to know the coaching. Because see, the research has really made it pretty simple for everybody. They created, if you did do this to answer some of your questions, you get this. It's called a blueprint for success. Think about it as a non-prescription prescription. And in here, what's included, all these yellows. And by this is free. These are videos from the researchers who don't sell anything, but want to make sure that people understand exactly how to do it. This is all free. And you have a live coach as well. And that part I didn't tell you is 70% of what you would buy from these suppliers from around the world, they'll give you 100% of your money back in the first 30 days if it doesn't work. Because nothing's 100%, of course. You have no risk. You know what your risk is? Your skepticism. You're going to go back to doing paleo or keto or time restricted eating or Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or carb recycling or macros or whatever it might be. It's not going to work long term. I mean, they're saying that every diet, 2/3 of the people are gaining more weight than they lost. Do you understand how crazy that is? It's like being on the Titanic. What was that noise? Oh, we hit an iceberg? Well, this thing's not going to sink. Isn't that what they told them? Unsinkable? And people remained on deck thinking it wasn't going to sink? That's where we are now. I mean, thank God we have drugs to deal with diabetes and high blood pressure and a host of problems. Now we get the shot to lose weight. And I'm not against the shot, but when you look at the results, I mean, I read to all of you, I've got it right here. This is New England. You all can go look it up. New England Journal of Medicine, 68 weeks, they lost 32 pounds, and 40% of what they lost was lean muscle mass. Well, wait a minute. That took them 68 weeks to lose 32 pounds? I guess she didn't get the memo. She lost 21 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days. And then Curtis, 40 pounds. and 52 and a half inches in 30 days. And that's not the good part of his story. Look at his blood work. A1C 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. How important is your health to you? Isn't your health your wealth? And what are you doing? You're entrusting your health to people. They're nice people on the internet, but they're giving you opinions. They don't have any facts. I don't care how many credentials. Unless they have peer-reviewed human trial studies, which they don't. They'll say, we got a scientific paper. That doesn't mean a damn thing. And most of you are going to go back to doing whatever you did before you got on this podcast. It's really sad. And we've provided for you this free, to the world. It's free. You can turn any of your friends on to it. They don't have to be on my podcast to go and see the medical proof, for crying out loud, or not. No, you'll get, I did it. If someone has to contact me, someone said has contact you in 2 to 3, yes, or sooner. Open the chats, friends, and whatever flows naturally. I'm not sure what you're talking about. No. Open the chats, friends, and whatever flows naturally. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. But yes, Nurse Williams, will make sure that you get contacted. It won't be 2 or 3 days. It'll probably be today, just to give you an idea, okay? So, again, who else would like to ask me a question? We're now at almost an hour and 20. It's okay, however long we want to go. But who else? Let's just review some of the before and afters again for everybody. 21.2 pounds, 38.75 inches in a month. This about 35 pounds she lost in 37 days, but look at the change in her body composition. And then look at Curtis, an older gentleman, almost 41 pounds in 30 days, 52 and a half inches. Look at his blood work under lab. You can see it, the lab work before and after. A1C 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. And then Andy, 45 pounds in 30 days, 60 inches from his neck to his ankles, A1C 7.9 to 6.2. Look at the LDL cholesterol from 120 to 59. And then April, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. Where's the loose skin? Look at her face. Look at her arms. I know you think it's fake. It's not. It's not photoshopped in any way. And it's sad because I would say 99% of you, you're going to go back to doing whatever you did before you're on this podcast. And we don't have anything to sell you. We don't have any products. You buy directly from your grocery store, 30%, that's what you did. The other 70% from these food groups from around the world that you buy directly from them. And then you get coached for free. Let's go back and look at the website again. The New Health Conversation. You all can go there for free. Wow, we're stuck on 3,600 likes. We've been there for like the last 20, 30 minutes. Can we get some more taps on the screen? Let's try to get to 4,000 before I close this out in about another, let's say 10 minutes at the most, unless somebody else has a question. Yes, but she's young? Well, okay. But how about this? Explain that to me, please. He's no young, that's an older guy. 40 pounds, 52 and a half inches in 30 days. I mean, hello? No, the point is, it doesn't matter. We have kids as young as 2 doing this, not to lose weight. 2-year-olds. We have a lady that's 91. We have a lady 80. She lost 92 pounds in 8 months. And 8 months ago, she couldn't climb a flight of stairs. 8 months later, she's playing pickleball 3 times a week, swimming 3 times a week, and walking 3 to 4 miles a day. She said she got her life back. No, it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with age. Obviously. Look at that. What do you think about that? What? He's not 40. So age, no, look, see, all of you, not your fault. You're still in a diet mentality, thinking about calories in, calories out, and trying to relate it to the diet you've been exposed to. This is not a diet. It's about detoxification. And here's what none of these other diets do. Help your body remove the chemicals. My God, I discovered this medical syndrome that I have and you have and everybody on the planet. T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, S for stress. It's a registered trademark U.S. patent office. You can see that, Peter Greenlaw. I did discover it. Big deal. Well, it is a big deal because that's what's happening to all of us. None of these diets have ever been proven to remove even a gram of a toxin from our body. These researchers did that. They did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, proving this was assisting our body in removing the chemicals. That's the main reason to do it. And look at the change in his medical results as a result of the detoxification. If I was to tell you what it really is, it's a detox. Hell, they're finding microplastics in our brain and in our coronary arteries. What else do you think you're storing in your fat cells, in case you didn't know? Herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon and flame retardants and all these other chemicals. The average adult on here, you have about 1,000 chemicals embedded in your visceral fat. That's why you have so much. Look at his stomach. This is removing the chemicals from the body. He shrank. I mean, my God, Julie, look at that. There you go. You can think it's photoshopped. I'm not here to convince any of you. If you want to go back to those antiquated, worn out, done. I mean, when Medicare is saying Medicare's the answer for effective obesity treatments, diets are not the answer. My gosh, what more proof do you need? If you want real proof, go to Walmart, go to Kmart, Costco, go to the mall, go to the supermarket. Look at America. Wake up, everybody. These diets are making you unhealthy. We're spending 4 times the rest of the world on sick care, health care, let's call it, okay? And we have about the 100th outcome. We're the most overfed and undernourished society in the world. We get these huge amounts of food with no nutrition. And your body keeps going, feed me, feed me. It doesn't want more calories. It wants more nutrition. How'd she do, everybody? Look at that. Yeah, Steve, I agree. How do we order this, Steve? Okay, so it's not a matter of ordering it, Steve. You see the website, the New Health Conversation. You go there and see the medical proof. If you like what you see, you scroll down. You can see right there. You get a free coach. Because 30% of what you're going to order, they're going to give you a grocery list. You take it to the grocery store. They're also going to give you this guide, which is what the researchers used. And all of these yellows you see there, they're videos with the researchers who have no products to sell. They don't have a company. They created this using food from the grocery store and 5 foods from around the world, from Russia, Mongolia, from Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represent huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity of food. And then they had them, what they did is 5 days a week, they had 4 meals a day. They started with these foods from around the world, no food from the grocery store, lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, these 5 foods around the world. Then 2 days a week, they did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not time-restricted eating, not water fasting. Those days, no food from the grocery store, only these 5 foods, but then they had them 8 times a day. They were eating every hour and a half to 2 hours. And you can see, when you look at Curtis here, he's no spring chicken. Look what happened to him, 40 pounds in a month. But the key to this, just so that you know, Steve, it's about maintenance. It's called R2M, race to maintenance. The only reason to do this, the weight loss is just like a throw-in. But for example, I'll tell you how simple maintenance is, Steve, is the 5 foods. This is what I do. Every morning for breakfast, I have the 5 foods. Then I have 2, normal meals. And then once every couple months, I do another 48-hour intermittent nutritional fast. And Steve, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. The only reason to do this is maintenance. Otherwise, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Don't waste our coaches' time. Their job, we got coached. We coach for free. We're doing pay it forward. We're helping, because let's say my cousin or my sister or someone wanted, I don't have a sister, but my sister-in-law, let's say. We're helping so many people. And what I'm fighting is the skepticism or the grounded in nonsense about calories in, calories out. It doesn't work. When Medicare's saying that, Medicare search for effective obesity treatments, diets are not the answer. Our research has studied many long-term outcomes of calorie in, calorie out, calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is effective treatment for obesity. The studies show that 2/3 of dieters regain more weight than they lost on diets. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets, by counting calories, leads to lasting weight loss or health benefits. That's Medicare saying that. That's not me saying that. But again, most of you are going to go back to paleo, keto, Mediterranean, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, carb recycling, all this. It's just nonsense. In 1964, we had 15%, Steve, 15% of the population overweight or obese. And Johns Hopkins Medical School, I have it right here, study predicts obesity apocalypse by 2030. 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. That's like a 500, almost 600% increase in overweight, obese people in this country in 60 years. But yet we keep following these people that are giving you opinions. They don't have any medical facts. Opinions don't matter in the medical world. Facts matter. So I run 4 days a week and then 16.8 IF. So good, Nita. So Texan and 97. I run 4 days a week and then 16.8 IF. Okay, well, let me explain to you what you're doing with intermittent fasting. Not my opinion. Here's the Journal of the American Medical Association. Here's what you're doing to yourself. They did a 3-month study where they looked at people doing intermittent fast. This time, you don't eat for 16 hours, you eat for 8. After 3 months, we found that people gained almost no benefit from it. And over the course of the 3 months, most of the weight they shed was not body fat, but lean muscle mass. You're making yourself unbelievably unhealthy, whether you know it or not. The 16.8, all you're doing is lowering calories. That's all you're doing. I have another study that proves it, not my opinion. Annals of Internal Medicine, published in March of 2024. We did a 12-week study where we analyzed time-restricted eating compared to people just doing calorie reduction. At the end of 3 months, the average weight loss in intermittent time-restricted eating was 4.6 pounds, and those doing calorie reduction was 5.2 pounds. But then they said, any suggestion that any effects of time-restricted eating on weight in prior studies was due to anything other than calorie reduction is totally false. Just telling you what they're saying. Do whatever you want to do. You're making yourself unhealthy, whether you know it or not, because as you lose lean muscle mass, which you are, you're slowing down your own immune system. But other than that, it's great. So what do we do? Mum Mac. Okay. How has he lost weight? Okay, I've only got about 5 minutes. I'm going to go real fast. So the researchers that invented this figured out the problem with diets was no matter what the diet, you were reducing the amount of food you were consuming. But when you did that, you were also reducing the amount of nutrition you were getting. So what they did, they said, can we create something where you reduce the quantity of food, but increase the amount of nutrition? And here's how they did it. Now, these are the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. Not me. It's not my opinion, okay? And what they were able to do is they put together a food list. 30% of what you would consume comes from your grocery store. You actually have a grocery store list, okay? Fats, carbs, proteins. But here's what's different. Not based on calories, based on serving sizes. Then the other 70% of what you would consume comes from these food sources in Russia, Mongolia, from South America, from New Zealand, and from Russia. Or Tibet, I forgot Tibet in the Himalayas. Those foods represented huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. So now you got the recipe. 30% from your grocery store, 70% from around the world. Then they had them do 2 totally different ways of eating. 5 days a week, they had 4 meals a day. They started in the morning. Breakfast was these 5 foods around the world. Then they had lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from these 5 foods around the world. Then 2 days a week, unlike this intermittent fasting that he was just referencing, which is time-restricted eating where you don't eat 16 hours a day, they did intermittent nutritional fasting. Okay? On those days, no food from the grocery store, but 8 meals a day of these 5 foods from around the world about every hour and a half for 2 hours. Look at the results. Look at the results. 40 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days. You think that's happening on time-restricted eating? Hell no. Or any diet. Not even. And Andy, he did even better. 45 pounds, 60 inches in a month. But look at the medical changes. Look at his A1C, 7.9 to 6.2. LDL cholesterol, 120 to 59 in 30 days. Now, I mean, and look at this is the daughter of a friend of mine. 60 pounds in 3 months, everybody. 60 in 3 months. Look at her face, arms, legs. Look at her body. Change. And yet, you all can go for free and see the medical proof. At that website, we will not contact you. We're not contacting you. The only way we'll contact you to get a free coach, scroll down and get a free coach. They'll show you what to order from the grocery store. They'll give you this is what they used in the medical studies. I mean, you get this for free. And then the other 70% of the food you buy, they'll show you how to buy directly from the suppliers, not from the coaches, not from us, not from the researchers. And then they'll teach you how to do this. I mean, again, I'll challenge any of you. Show me anything like that, and she only had 35 pounds, so she lost 21 pounds in a month. That's over 5 pounds a week. You can all do whatever you want to do. This is the first ever medical proof there's a solution for obesity, overweight, and health. I mean, my God, look at his numbers. The weight loss is almost immaterial. Look at his A1C under lab work. Look at that, 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides, 242 to 124 in 30 days. 30 days. You think that's happening on any other diet? Show it to me. Show me the medical proof. 40.8 pounds on intermittent fasting? Hell no. Not even good. Nonsense. Nonsense. Chatter. No medical proof. Well, the medical proof I showed you, they're saying it's one of the most unhealthy things you could do because most of what people lost on time-restricted eating was lean muscle mass, not fat. See, that's a bunch of bullshit. Pardon my French, sorry. There's no such thing as burning fat or losing fat. You're born with a certain number of fat cells. You die with a certain number of fat cells. You either can do liposuction or surgery to remove fat cells, but diets, fat cells expand or contract. That's it. So all this nonsense, oh, we're going to show you how to burn fat. No, you're not. That's a total lie. And what these diets do is trigger starvation mode from a nutritional standpoint. And your brain doesn't have a choice. It slows down your metabolism. That's why you plateau in these diets and come off them and gain everything back. But it also, by losing lean muscle mass, you slow down your own immune system. Gosh, this is so nuts, crazy. But people want to believe what they want to believe. I think maybe we should now start to look at the medical proof. Even Harvard Medical School, title, Stop Counting Calories. Most people have been taught that losing weight is a matter of simple math. Cut calories 3,500, you lose a pound. But as it turns out, experts are learning that this decades-old strategy is totally misguided. Harvard admits that counting calories doesn't work. So does the Medicare. So do all these people. We're not saying that you're not going to lose weight initially, whether you do paleo, keto, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating. I don't care what it is. But what kind of weight are you losing? And they're saying 2/3 of you doing any of those diets end up, in the long run, end up weighing more than you did when you started. Why the hell are you doing it in the first place? And you're doing nothing to remove chemicals from your body. So something like, again, I'm not particularly, just because somebody brought it up, there's no evidence that this time-restricted eating or paleo or keto or Mediterranean removing even a gram of toxicity from our bodies. So again, you all can do. So anyway, Ann Walsh, hopefully the food's easy to find. No, they're not at all. That's the whole point. The researchers will show you the suppliers who supply these foods. 30%, here's a grocery, you just take that to the grocery store. That's a no-brainer. But the other 5 foods you buy directly from them. But you have to understand the other part of this is teaching you how to consume them, in what quantities, in what's order, over what period of time. And that's all free. That's why you can go there. You see it, the New Health Conversation. It's 100% free to go there. There's nothing to buy. We're not going to convince you. We're not going to sell you. We're going to teach you, if anything. But we will, if you go to that website, any of you, we're not going to contact you. Got it? Okay? So anyway, I do have to run. Oh, we got to almost 5,000. Oh, come on, can we get just another 100? Can we get some more taps on that screen? Just a little bit more taps. We're at 4,900. I want to get 5,000. Do I hear 5,000? If I'm like an auctioneer. Oh, we got 5,000. Thank you all very much. So thank you, Denise, and thank you, Tanzu, and thank you, Teddy, and Texan, and Mum, and Mac, and all the people that have joined us this morning. Lady D, what's right above my head there, Lady D? See it? The New Health Conversation. Lady D, put a yes if you understand that's the website. So I know I'm not going to leave you high and dry. If you want to go and see the medical proof, and we will not contact you, Lady D. If you like what you see, scroll down and you get a free coach that'll explain everything to you and be your coach all the way through, not just to get the weight off you, Lady D, but teach you how to keep it off for the rest of your life. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. That's why it's called Race to Maintenance. So Lady D, the only reason to do this is not look at this, Lady D. How about that? 21 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days. Look at that. Would that excite you, Lady D? How much would that excite you? Ann Walsh, she's saying yes too. You understand about the website. But look at that. 5 pounds a week, a little over 5 pounds a week. Come on, I know that would, please, you can be skeptical, but this is real. And it's backed by these medical studies that you get to see if you go to the website. I'm excited for all of you. I hope you'll take advantage. I'm going to put it up there one more time. The new health conversation is where to go, see the medical proof, and then you can get a free coach if you want. We will not contact you unless you contact us. Does everyone get that? We're not trying to sell you or convince you. We don't have time to do that. We got so many people we're coaching and educating. That's the most important thing. But don't you all think? Yeah, yes, it would. Exactly. Good, Style by Denise. So are you clear too, Style by Denise? You understand to go to the new health conversation? I think you said yes to me. Did you? So just please tell me that you understand Style by Denise. The red above me, the new health conversation. That's where you go to see the proof. Scroll down and then you get a free coach. Cool? You got it. Wonderful. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, evening, afternoon, because this podcast goes all over the world. I got people in Europe. I got people in Asia. I got people in Australia. They're asleep now. But that's why I do. As a matter of fact, right now it's almost 10 o'clock on the East Coast. It's 9:49. So let's just say I'll do another one today. Let's say around noon or 12:30 Eastern Standard Time today. I'll do another podcast. But in the meantime, invite any of your friends to go to that website. They don't have to be on my podcast. Send them there. Send them there, okay? Thank you all very, very much. I wish you nothing but the best possible health, and this is the avenue to do it. Not my opinion based on the medical studies, okay? Bye, everybody.